Oh, well, let's start with the thing that probably a lot of people have heard of by now. Um, Halo Infinite won't have co-op at launch,
Oh,
which is, to
no.
me,
Weird.
it's very weird. So, okay, so Microsoft announced that Halo Infinite won't get cooperative campaign support and the Forge at launch. So the
What is
Forge is like
Forge? Yeah, explain to me because I have no idea what Forge is.
the Forge is more like a player creation tool, people to make like custom
Okay.
maps and custom things like that. So that sort of stuff, I was like, fine,
Yeah.
that can be delayed. Co-op campaign is like it's a staple of Halo. Like,
That's
I
yeah.
played the very first Halo in co-op. That was how I experienced that game for the very first time. So for it to just not be there and apparently only be coming about 3 months after launch is a real
It's just a weird dampener on. So just correct me if I'm wrong. The campaign will still ship at launch, right? It's you're getting that. It's just
yes.
there's no co-op for that. So
So
it's like,
Halo Infinite's creative head, Joseph Staten, says that the lack of campaign co-op and Forge mode was a hard decision to make, but neither were ready for launch as the team began winding down to the polishing stages of development. He
mm,
says, unfortunately, as we focused the team for shutdown and really focused on a quality experience for launch, we made a really tough decision to delay shipping campaign co-op for launch. And we also made the tough call to delay shipping Forge past launch as well.
mm,
Um, they still say that it is coming out holiday this year. They say that a firm date will be revealed very soon. I assume now that the new Call of Duty has a date that they
oh, they're
can,
gonna plan around that. It's hilarious.
yeah. Um,
Well, what I will say is that I do really feel for this team because I mean, let's be honest about it. What is it? A year ago, they had to go back to the drawing board in terms of visuals, which isn't
mm,
just a thing of like you snap your fingers and the game, you change the look of the game. So that
no,
obviously put
no.
a. I mean, they delayed the game for that reason, but that was a huge, wrench, well, spanner in the works. So yeah, it's a pity though, because I mean, this is the Halo is the landmark franchise for Xbox. Like, I'd put money down saying like that's Halo is part. Well, it's a huge reason why Xbox is where it is today because the original Halo put that console into homes.
Yep, 100%.
So now, but like the only reason I want to play this game, I mean, I'm obviously keen to give the multiplayer bash, but I'm willing to give the campaign a bash as well. And I thought it would be a lot of fun co-op, but now gonna have to wait till maybe December, if not January. Like I don't know where it depends when the game
Yeah,
launches, I guess.
so they say the game obviously is gonna get seasons because,
Of course.
343 and Microsoft see this as a platform for future Halo.
Mm.
So they say each season will be 3 months apart, and they say campaign co-op is coming in the second season, so
Yeah.
at most 3 months after launch.
Yeah.
And then Forge is only coming in season 3, so 6 months after launch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The game was delayed a year, and I think at the time that was probably a really difficult decision for Microsoft, but
Mm.
I don't think there's a single person in the world looking back at that now that would argue that it was a bad decision
Oh no,
because
no, not at all.
yeah, the game in its multiplayer test was f- much better. I thought,
Mm.
just in terms of visuals. I don't even know what the state of the multiplayer was last year, so I can't talk to that. But just from a visual sense, it looks night and day difference.
Yeah.
Um, and if they were overhauling those sorts of things, they probably we forget that this is on a brand new engine that was developed in house, and
Mm.
that incurs its own technical issues and
Exactly.
problems. So it's not like, oh, we made co-op in the last game. Why is it not ready this time? It's like, well, we have an entirely new tool set, so maybe
Mm.
it's much harder than we thought it would be. So, yeah, and I saw someone on Twitter saying that this is essentially Microsoft's most ambitious release ever because they're releasing across 5 platforms.
Mm.
Xbox One, Series X, Series S, PC,
Switch.
and I guess X, Switch. Uh, and it is for all intents and purposes, this is the big like this is why you get Game
Mm.
Pass game.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they have to hit it out the park. And if the launch was going to be they learned from the Master Chief Collection where they released this huge bundle of games, and the only conversation you heard about it for the first 6 months was, "Wow, this game is fucking broken because no one can find multiplayer
Mm,
games." Like, if the conversation was like, "Wow, co-op campaign is fucking broken for the first 3 months of this game,"
that's yeah,
you've lost the interest already. That's it.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
I get, I
it's
guess those are the conversations they were having
yeah.
internally.
It's
So
just
yeah.
interesting because this isn't a matter of them delaying the whole game because they obviously want to hit that holiday period. It's just there are very few games I think that have had actual features missing at launch.
Mm.
Know what I mean? Like it just, but like
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, like I can't remember which dev said it. I know there's this famous quote where like no game has been worse as a result of a delay. Like it only gets
Mm.
better. So, and I think that applies here as well. Like they want co-op campaign to be perfect. They don't want.
And I mean, it also comes down to the marketing. Like, they
Mm,
are being very upfront, like, this is not
exactly.
happening. But you look at, Nintendo does this all the time. Um,
Mm.
they delayed a bunch of things for Animal Crossing, but because it wasn't part of the initial announcement, it doesn't seem like a delay. It almost seems like additional content that
Well,
comes after the fact. You know what I
Monster
mean?
Hunter didn't have
Monster
an
Hunter, yeah.
ending.
Yeah, it genuinely did not have an ending at
You
launch.
play the game, it's like this is the final mission, but actually you'll get the final mission in 2 months, and it's like
Yeah.
okay, like
Sony does
okay,
Sony
cool.
does this all the time too. Like, The Last of Us 2. Still waiting for the multiplayer mode
Ah,
that
yeah,
was
true.
announced.
Yeah, that's true.
Still not
Okay, so
out.
I redact what I said. A lot of studios tend to do this. It
Yeah,
seems.
but
Well,
again,
yeah.
you look at The Last of Us 2, and yes, it's a different game. Most people are going there for the single player experience, and that was done at launch, but
Mm,
it is similar, it
yeah.
is just the way it's packaged and announced, and I think there's no way that you get around, campaign co-op stinging because, like, that is, as important as story is to The Last of Us 2, campaign co-op is important to Halo. It is not
Mm,
a mode that was announced and now it's being ripped out. It is essential to that experience. So yeah, there's no way that that would have gone down well, irrespective of how it was marketed. But stuff like Forge, definitely.
yeah.
I mean, even Ghost of Tsushima, we didn't know it had a multiplayer mode, but
I
that came
until
out like
like
six
months later.
months
Yeah.
later. You can't tell me that they didn't know it was being developed.
Except that was marketed though as like a big surprise because no one knew about it. They're like, oh hey, there's a multiplayer
Exactly.
mode.
But if they had announced it
Imagine they showed it and then they
initially,
delay it.
and that's smarter. To me, that's a much smarter way of going about it. Like, they
Damn
never
it.
had to set up expectations. No one was waiting for it. So when it came out, it was a surprise, irrespective. It seemed like a real value add. But if at the initial launch, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to have this multiplayer mode. And then later on, they're like, oh, it's being
That would have
delayed.
been. You see, it's unfortunate for them that Halo is known for co-op campaign. Because imagine they
Yeah,
just launched the campaign, and 3 months they're like, "Oh, by the way, you can play co-op now." You go,
exactly.
"Whoa,
Exactly. Exactly. You're like, "Oh my god,
amazing!"
that's awesome." But yeah, it was never gonna happen. To be honest, the only other game I can think of, off the top of my head that had something similar, was GTA Online. I
Oh
remember that
yeah,
was delayed, like,
mm.
well out of the window of the actual release, and then when it launched, it was just terrible.
G-
Like, GTA Online took, like, a year to actually find
I
itself,
mean,
so
GTA has been around for many years now. Now it's just printing money for.
yeah, now GTA Online is GTA, like,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy.
Actually, Red Dead Redemption 2 had the same problem.
Yep.
Red Dead Online only came out like a month or 2 after
Mm.
the actual game. So, yeah, I guess it's not as uncommon, but
Yeah,
again, campaign co-op is
that's like
probably the most important part of
it's
Halo.
part of
So,
the DNA of the game. So that's why I
yeah,
guess it's such
it's
a big
hard to get
deal.
away from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah. So we playing Halo co-op again 3 months after.
Oh, yeah, I'll play that. Well, I hope I'll play it again because,
It
I love
depends.
Halo, but Halo 5, that campaign fucking sucked. So, hoping that that's not the case this time.
What else this week? Shall we talk about? I'm just gonna step in and we're gonna talk
Go for it. Go for it.
about Wukong's new gameplay trailer. So for
Black
those of you
Myth
who don't know,
Wukong.
Wukong was shown a year ago, revealed as it's what's it, Unreal Engine 5 game?
No,
Um,
no, so that was only announced
is it
now.
only recent? Oh, okay, my bad. But when it was showed last year, I think it blew people away because it is a stunning looking like action adventure game.
Yeah.
Now 1 year later, they've just basically given an update, and holy hell, this game
Yeah.
is quite something. Let me just switch the view here.
So when it was announced last year, it was still Unreal Engine 4. They only made the conversion to Unreal Engine 5 over this past year. Um,
I don't know why this
and
footage is blurry on my side.
I
No.
just see a black screen on my side, so I don't see
Oh,
anything.
there we go. Oh, you don't see anything?
Nope, I see
Okay, I'll
nothing.
fix that.
But yeah, so just very briefly, Black Myth Wukong is being developed in China. It is a real journey to the West sort of story,
Hmm.
which you might have experienced in a Western game like Enslaved. Um, but from the looks of it, it's almost got like a Dark Souls DNA to it in
Mm,
terms of its combat. So
yeah.
yeah, not sure if it's, like, super difficult or whatever, but it definitely gives off that vibe, but this game's visuals are what really just
Yeah,
throw me. They're
let me
just
just skip ahead here.
unbelievable.
So I think the biggest talking point of this new gameplay reveal is the snow.
Jeez.
Because holy
It's
hell,
just
the snow looks.
incredible.
I can feel the chill from that snow. It looks so
The snow,
good.
the deformation, it's so, like
Mm,
it's so realistic because it's so chaotic. It doesn't look like a segmented part of snow is being
yeah.
ripped out. I mean, when the enemy swipes his weapon, the air that moves past, like, actually moves some of the snow.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It really is. And yeah, so this is one of the first real looks at Unreal Engine 5 running with NVIDIA DLSS and ray tracing.
Hmm.
And boy, is it impressive. I mean, yeah, it looks really good. I mean, this game doesn't just look like eye candy. Like the combat
No,
actually
the
looks really
combat.
fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think you comparing it to Dark Souls is like a massive compliment because
Mm.
Dark Souls is known. Well, that entire studio and franchise is known for the satisfying combat. So if that's
Yeah,
if it's anything like that, like can't be. And again, like we don't know what the difficulty will be like, but I'm there.
I mean, I'm looking at this now, and I can see on the right something that looks like different stances that you
Yeah,
take.
yeah. There's something building up
Um,
or something doing happening there as well.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's building up, yeah, because now it's got 2 pips of whatever's there. I mean, the enemy, the character's fighting has got a ton of health, and it looks like he's duking a lot of things, getting hits in when he can.
Yeah,
It reminds me a lot of Sekiro because it's
yeah.
very,
So
aggressive.
similar. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm very very keen. I mean, I don't. I know there was a tweet or story going around this week that 2023 is the supposed leaked launch window. I don't know how accurate that is.
2023, sure,
Yeah,
still a while
it's
away.
still a while away. I mean, but I think I can't remember where I saw that. So don't take that with a bag of salt. But yeah, I
Mm,
can wait for this game. It looks beautiful.
mm,
Just yeah, very keen to see
sure.
more of it.
I mean, I'm just looking at all the snow that's moved as part of this fight, and then even the snow that's moved is like getting like secondary reactions on it.
It's
So it's like
crazy.
you can see where the snow is piled up is where most of the fight has kind of
Yeah,
moved away from. It's
it's
kind of
incredible.
incredible.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Yeah, excited for this. Hopefully it does. I think they did say it will be released in the West. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's real good.
Hmm. Um, what next? Do you want to pick one, or shall I just choose one?
Um, Oh, sorry, I like yawned, and then that
Sure.
ended up
I'm
being
sorry,
like
I'm
a
so
real
boring.
shout to the camera. Uh, let's do this quick one. Ghost of
Quake.
Tsushima.
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
said. I thought you
I
said
thought
this
you said
Quake one.
Quake.
Ghost
Let's
of
do this
Tsushima.
Quake one.
Okay, let's go.
Ghost of Tsushima director's cut is on PS5 now. If you're
Mm-hmm.
hearing this, it is out. And aside from adding a whole new island to the game and some PS5 visual goodies,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I think is most exciting is that it's finally fixed PS4's save transfer bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you recall, if you played Spider Man,
Mm-hmm.
the PS5 version, or you played, trying to think of another game where this
Final
was the case.
Fantasy.
Oh, Final
Because that's
Fantasy.
one
Yeah.
I had to suckle with when the DLC launched. The thing of I had to literally download the PS4 version of the game onto my PS5, click the cloud upload button on the PS4 version, close it, launch the PS5 version, click the download cloud save button, and then I could play the game.
Get out of
which
here.
is what is this?
Um,
Nintendo's Nintendo's Dimension? Like, come on.
so apparently the real reason behind all of this is that Sony's operating system for PlayStation sandboxed games. So a game could not read data from another game. So even though you had Spider-Man for PS4, the Spider-Man PS5 version was seen as a completely different game, and it could not read that data. So the only way to get your save was, like you said, to log into the PS4 version, put it up into
Mm,
the cloud, where then the game could pull it down.
yeah,
And for some reason, save games that were in the cloud already weren't accessible because I don't know, maybe they're not in the right format or whatever. But
yeah.
who knows? Either way, uh, it seems, according to Digital Foundry, that this has now been changed on an SDK level. So in Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, you can literally just boot up the PS5 version and go transfer PS4 save, and then it looks into your PS4 save file, or I don't even
Hmm.
think you need the PS4 version installed,
Yeah.
and it just pulls that save file.
Well, I
So
hope that's how it works. We'll have to test
yeah,
because we now actually have code for this game, so we'll revert back, I
I
guess.
I kind of just hope that this is now the way it works going forward.
Yeah.
That's all I hope for, because this is nonsense. Like, third parties were getting around it because they were controlling their own cloud
It's our own
services,
cloud
so maybe
services, yeah.
they were finding a way to do it, but especially for Sony first parties, this was a consistent problem,
Yeah.
and it was really annoying. Um,
It's it's annoying, and it also, funny enough, like Xbox were punting this play, basically, not, is it play anywhere? Or like, I don't know what the catchphrase was. I think play anywhere might be the cloud slogan, but the whole thing of, you can like literally play any game on any console you own, and it's, backward compatible, XYZ. So Xbox doesn't seem to have this problem at all. So when Sony did on first party titles, it just makes them look really bad. So yeah, I hope it works. I mean, we're gonna have to give it a bash this weekend with the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut. I sincerely hope so, because if it doesn't, it's like, in order to activate the new island, you have to get to Act 2. And I'm like, oh, do I have to download my game,
I'm keen
redo
to
it, or?
pop into the game and see all my trophies just pop again. Boop, 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 boop.
Well,
Platinum.
I
Boop, boop.
technically platinumed Final Fantasy VII Remake twice,
Twice. Nice.
which was quite a feeling launching it on PS5 and just sitting back and going, oh, there's that trophy. Oh, there's the platinum.
I
Cool.
just the platinum for that game seems really hard. I
It's
I
a
don't know if I'll
time
do it.
sink, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, now down to Quake news. Take it away.
So, I mean, this week was QuakeCon, which is a
Mm,
little
a
conference for all.
Microsoft event now.
Yeah, weird, for all things Quake, I guess, and that side of that studio, well, that side of that company, and they shadow dropped a Quake Remaster. It is out now, for PC and consoles, with an entirely new expansion. But what I find really cool, so first of all, cool, Quake is what now, like 25 years old? I don't actually know.
Yeah, they
It
said
came
it's
out
25 year.
96, yeah. So 25 years
Yeah.
old. Makes me feel
Jeez.
really ancient, because I played a lot of Quake when I was little. What's really cool is that it's got cross-play multiplayer, which is,
Ooh.
deathmatch Quake against a huge pool of players sounds like an absolute blast. I mean, I don't know how they'll manage console versus PC, but I imagine you can enable or disable who you match up against. I'm very keen to check this out. I've got
It's
many fond memories of Quake, playing it a lot growing up.
I've never played the first Quake, so I'm keen to give that a go. And yeah, like you said, having cross-platform multiplayer, yeah, I'll play multiplayer for this again, arena shooter.
I
That
mean, and it's got a new
sounds like a great
chapter.
time.
Like, come
Yeah,
on.
and a new chapter developed by Machine Games. It also apparently features the game's original score, which I didn't know this was produced by Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor.
Mm,
Uh, phenomenal, phenomenal musician. So yeah,
yeah, crazy. I mean, if you're watching the video feed, I don't know how old you are, but this should stir some nostalgia deep in you.
I
if
love I
you're
love
an old school
sentimental
PC
games.
player.
It's really good.
I
Like
actually I have a quick story for this. Let me just rewind here. Look at this boss, okay? Hang on. This boss here, right? It's a huge demon in a pool of lava. that you're fighting, we had a huge CRT 21-inch monitor. Okay, now
Oh,
let me tell you, a CRT 21-inch monitor, it sounds little today. That is a big box. Okay, because I mean,
it is a big boy. Yeah.
CRTs were what, like 14, 15-inch? Is
Yes,
standard
around
back
about
then.
then.
I was fighting
And
this.
weighed about triple that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fighting this boss, and the screen quite literally like exploded. Now
Like
imagine,
actually exploded.
like literally, like it like, "Pah," and it just broke.
Oh.
Now imagine a little me playing this game against this huge demon, and that happens. You go, oh shit.
I can only imagine your mother like, Mom, I broke the TV. What happened? I was fighting a demon from hell.
Oh
No,
no.
douche.
Call the priest.
Yeah.
No, but I think the funniest part of that story though is that the replacement screen we got was a 14-inch CRT. And I was like, this
Uh,
thing is so little. I can't
yeah,
see a
yeah.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
14 inch. That's like an iPad size
I
nowadays.
know,
It's
but I'll never forget this boss. I was like, oh my god, just the coincidence of I'm
such
fighting
an
this
intense
huge
boss. It
demon.
broke your
Yeah,
TV.
can't believe it, man.
That's amazing. That's cool. Yeah, I really want to play this. I don't know if you knew, but in the recent Doom games, Doom 2016 and Eternal, you could change the settings to have the gun center mounted.
I actually did know that, I think, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
mean,
think Digital Foundry always does it center mounted in their videos, and it freaks me out because with a game that looks that good, it just seems odd.
yeah, but in a game like Quake, I can't imagine it. Quake 1, Quake 2, right or left is fine, but Quake 1, it has to be center. That's just how I grew up with it. It'll throw me if it isn't like that. Cool. Next piece of news, shall we bounce to Pokemans? Or Pokemon,
Pokemon, oh yeah,
little Pokemon showcase this week. Oops, sorry about that.
yeah.
Um,
Had a small showcase which showed off, updates for a bunch of games. Got new footage of what is it? Brilliant Diamond and
Shining.
Shining Pearl,
Mm-hmm.
the remake of Gen 3, which
Which
actually looks really
looks
good.
really yeah, looks really cool.
Yeah.
I love the the modern version of the old school pixel style, whatever. Well, it's not even a
I
pixel
thi-
style. It's just the
It's
small
like a chibi
characters.
style
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. I actually told you earlier this week that I much preferred the remake of Pokemon Red and Blue, which was called what? Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Mm-hmm.
I've much preferred that to the modern Pokemons, and I don't know
Mm.
if that's through pure nostalgia or if the recent ones just aren't vibing with me. Like
Mm.
Sword and
Might
Shield
be.
just didn't vibe with me. So yeah, I'm excited for Shining Diamond and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Um,
Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl. I don't know. who
yeah,
who cares? It's Diamond and
Pearl
Pearl.
Diamond and Brilliant Shining. Who
Nice.
knows? Um, so yeah, I'm keen for those because it could just be another nostalgia
Yeah.
bump again. So yeah, but the big game that was shown off was Pokemon is it
Arceus.
Arceus?
I think it's
Atreus?
Arceus. Arceus?
Atreus, boy,
Boy
Pokemon boy.
Simulator.
This is funny enough coming out only 2 months after the remake ones. This is coming in
It's a lot
January.
of Pokemon in the space of 2 months.
Yeah, it's Game Freak's essentially their new take on the Pokemon franchise. I
Yeah.
think it's
I mean,
set way back in time.
yeah, easiest comparison, it's the Breath of the Wild treatment of the Pokemon universe. And not in terms of just like breaking the formula. It quite literally looks like a open world, very much akin to Breath of the Wild.
I know what people were thinking Sword and Shield would be with those open areas, but
Yeah,
this
I
looks like an
mean,
evolution of
yeah,
that.
exactly. I mean, Sword and Shield, like I played them, I enjoyed them, but my biggest criticism of the Pokemon franchise, it's funny because I've told the story many times where I played the original Pokemon on Game Boy as a kid, and it was, you need to defeat all the gym leaders to become the best, the Pokemon Grandmaster. And Sword and Shield, 20 plus whatever years later, it's the exact same formula. Like, which
Mhm.
it's fine, but it's the same thing over and over again. So I'm quite keen for a breaking of the formula into. I mean, we don't know what the story is for this game at all.
Mm.
But the whole open world look, if it is a huge open area game like the wild area from Sword and Shield, but on a grander scale, like cool. I'll be very keen to check it out.
Yeah,
I
I
think it's long overdue for a formula shakeup.
Definitely, and I think that's why I'm so, like, keen on this because it isn't just like, Sword and Shield, for all intents and purposes, is still the original Pokemon game, you know?
Exactly. It
It's
really is.
it's kind of, like, identical. This one, I mean, look at this. I mean, you've got a hand glider, like, this is real Breath of
A
the
hand
Wild
glider,
shit, you know?
or what is that Pokemon called? The something
Yeah,
something
a
glider.
bird,
A bird glider.
you
You've got
can ride a
a
fish.
fish that is powered by the souls it consumes or something like that.
Yeah, it's that fish has got some real wild backstory. I
Amazing.
like the little steampunk Pokeballs as well, but I think the
Mm,
thing that really gets me is, like, you can catch Pokemon without battling them. Like,
mm.
if you stealth in tall grass and you throw the ball, you have a potential to catch them, and if not, then you have, like, your party running next to you,
Yeah.
and the combat still looks like Pokemon,
Mm.
turn-based battling, but it looks more like a Final Fantasy, style,
Exactly.
like, far more active, you know?
Yeah.
See, you've got enemies coming for you while you are still running around,
You
until
have
you
a
actually
roll button?
choose your Pokemon to, like, throw out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at these red-eyed Pokemon, that's
My
hardcore.
goodness. Yeah, it
Oh,
just
that Gyarados fucked shit up there.
it just looks like a different kind of Pokemon game, which I'm very keen to check out. So we don't
Mm.
have to wait too long. It's out in January.
I
Uh,
see, criticisms of its visuals, I get that to a
I'll
degree.
also get
The
it. Yeah.
environments like, the Pokemon look great. I think the environments look a bit strange.
How
Um,
great is this Growlithe? Can I just say?
yeah, the Growlithe with
This
the
new
new
Growlithe
hairstyle,
is just the
so good.
cutest damn thing. Look at that.
Oh, so
That's so
cute,
cute.
so cute.
But now you have to choose. In January, you play the new Pokemon Elden Ring.
Fuck.
That's
Forgot Elden Ring was, like,
oh
literally,
my
like, 5
god.
months away
It
from the
just
season.
creeping there like, hey.
Do you think, 'cause there's Gamescom this coming week, do you think we'll get a new look at Elden Ring?
I don't know. I'm curious, but I've seen enough. It's okay. Don't show me anymore. Mm-mm-mm.
Wow, we get one new trailer in 3 years, and you're like, "I've seen
I've
enough.
seen enough.
Done."
Okay.
Yeah.
Last pieces of news.
Yeah,
Splitgate.
these we can fly through.
Splitgate, which is for all intents and purposes the baby of Halo and Portal, a surprisingly wildly popular multiplayer game. Its full release has been delayed indefinitely. The beta has been downloaded 10 million times, which is
Yeah. I guess
that's a
they're
lot of
just like, "Well, we
downloads.
can just let people continue playing the beta for now,
While we
'cause this shit's
pick stuff
popular."
up, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
cool. We need to play this game. It looks
I
great.
really do. Every time I see gameplay footage, I'm like, "Fuck, this looks so good." So yeah, I just need to
Yeah,
get into it and play.
and
Yeah.
with the Quake remaster, I would not say no to a resurgence in these arcade, Twitch slash reflex based shooters. The Saints Row reboot teased for Gamescom reveal. I mean, this has been doing the rounds for a month or two now.
Mm.
And I actually saw a great tweet where it was like, this brings on the great argument of like, does it follow the Saints Row 1 and 2 formula or the Saints Row 3 and 4 formula? Like, what Saints Row do you prefer? So, having never played 1 and 2, I can't comment on that, but I know those almost closely follow the Grand Theft Auto formula, but
Yeah,
on a wacky scale. Whereas 3 and 4 really lent into the the wild
wacky
side.
superhero nonsense,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, 4 was full on superhero, and 3 was just ridiculous humor and ridiculous plots and everything. So, I don't know. It's been a long time since I played a Saints Row, and I don't know how a modern day game fits. I mean, how a game fits in a modern context, but
Mm.
I'm curious to see what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I mean, I really didn't enjoy 4 all that much, but I like 3, and 2 is
Mm.
considered the best one.
Yeah.
So if they're remaking 1 or 2, I'd be into that.
Mm.
Give those a go. Yeah.
Oh, and then last piece of news: the new Call of Duty Vanguard announced.
Ooh.
Set in World War
It's
Two.
really hard getting like it's so conflicting because you see people that have worked on this game very
Mm.
excited for it. And, good on them because this is a lot of work, that they've been putting in for the past 2, 3 years
Yeah.
coming to fruition, especially most of what I've seen is the writers on the game,
Mm.
which it has some a really good varied writing team. Actually, one of the quest writers of The Witcher 3 is leading the writing here.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like it's cool seeing people excited for the work they've done, but then it's really hard watching this and being like, yeah, Activision is still in the lawsuit about like really
Hmm.
mistreating their workers. So
Well, I saw an article, well, a headline today that the Activision name is weirdly absent from this trailer
it
on any
is, yeah.
marketing. So,
It's only there as a trademark. It's not like, the splash like, if you think back to when Sekiro was announced,
mm,
you saw the Activision logo before anything.
yeah, it's like,
So, interesting. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and also, yeah, World War Two. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe,
and the synopsis is like, "Hey, remember that fight in Stalingrad? Remember the final days of the war in, like, Northern Africa?" It's like, "Remember Call of Duty 2? We hope you enjoy that shit," like, or Call of Duty 3, like,
yeah. Uh,
yeah, I'm not super sure about it, but, I genuinely play these games for the campaign every now
mm,
and then. I got really into multiplayer for Black Ops,
mm,
Cold War, which I really liked.
yeah,
So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's out on November 5th.
yeah.
Oh,
Keep
it's
an
got a new zombies mode, which is cool. I'm always
uh,
down for a zombies mode. Yeah.
raw
Yeah.
zombies.
I do like the key art. I think it's
Yeah, yeah,
very
it's
striking.
cool.
Yeah.
Like
Very,
that.
very nice key art. Yeah.
Cool.
One
And
of the
that's
better ones. Yeah.
from yeah, definitely. Oh, a lot of it's yeah, looks great. Um,
We forgot the biggest news of the week, actually.
oh god.
Skyrim is getting another release
Oh, get out of here.
for its 10-year anniversary.
Oh
It's
my
getting
god. I
pre-released in
actually completely
November.
forgot about that.
Next gen platforms, and it's getting fishing. So, as a good John Michael said on the stream earlier this week, they basically took a mod and put it in the game and are
It's theirs
marketing it
now.
as such. Yeah.
Yeah. I think let me just find this tweet. This is my favorite
I,
tweet.
the one where it's like Skyrim is now the leader of um
No, this
you
one.
know yeah.
Of good old Timur. No more Skyrim. You see that? This guy's just like, I've had enough. Yeah, I think that's there we go. Now we've done all the news. All of the news is done. Wait, are you muted? What happened? Are you just not?
No, I'm
Just
good. I was
you're
just
just like
reading something.
you're just like
Uh,
mm-hmm.
Timo Hussein, no more
Yeah.
Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this tweet. It's great. It
Yeah.
was actually, I think this was from
It's a
E3
while ago.
2018. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the E3 where they announced Skyrim for Alexa. It's just like,
Ah,
please, please, no more, please.
my goodness.
It's
Cool.
very funny.
Now we are done with gaming news.